Social media and trade secrets. One of the obvious risks of social media that people sometimes ignore or forget about is the rather obvious one that your secrets, your secret formula, your secret teaching strategy might find its way onto social media, and that means that to a certain extent you could lose your competitive edge. This is important for all types of businesses, but particularly people who are training and running workshops. If people who are not coming on your course can access that material anyway, then that might lead you to have less sign-ups. The other thing would be if you are innovative, you've created a new design, for example, a new jewelry design, you're hoping to get that registered as a registered design. Once you reveal that in public, all bets are off. You cannot get a valid design registration. Also, if you've invented something, once you've let people know about that, and social media is the quickest way to do that, it can invalidate your patent as well. So for those of us that run courses and do online training and face-to-face training, how do we alleviate this problem? How do we make sure that our nuggets of gold don't get shared with the universe? And there's really two problems. One is if people can access your material for free online anyway, they're not going to come to your course. And the second problem with it is your information might be taken out of context. And taken out of context, it might not work. And so if somebody sees part of what you teach online and then it's out of context, then they might look at it and go, well, I tried that and it didn't work. So the only way really to deal with this is just to be conscious of what you allow to be put onto social media about what you teach. For example, some training that I did recently, there was a particular part of the training that was the real heart, the real guts of it, and there were several slides around that. The trainer in that case wouldn't want that material to be floating around on the internet, whereas other parts were more examples of success. Those she was happy to share online. So the way you control the content is just to let people know at the beginning of the course what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. Let people know whether you want them to be doing Facebook Lives or not. Let people know, and if you want to control the content more closely, you can have team members, crew members who would do the social media for you. So they will post the Facebook Live about topics that you're happy to share. And the best ones usually are success stories from people who've used your process, used your system. If you're not wanting others to share on social media, you might be happy for them to share photographs but not video, because if they share video, that gives away your course content, or at least part of it. And I was at an event recently where no mention was made of social media restrictions. And so several people were doing Facebook Lives. There were people who were talking on the stage, and one lady started talking and we didn't know what the topic was going to be. And it ended up being a very personal tale of her journey of abuse. And people who were doing Facebook Live didn't understand or didn't realize what was coming. And at the end of the tale, they said, please keep this information within this room because it's very private and very personal, and she's never shared that before. But by then it was too late, because people had been doing Facebook Lives, which is basically where you're videoing what's going on and it's being transmitted to Facebook at the same time. People had been doing Facebook Lives throughout the evening of other speakers, and so they didn't realize that what that speaker said was confidential. The other thing, of course, is that if in that situation, the organizer really should have said, we're happy for you to do Facebook Live of any of the speakers excepting this one because she's got a personal story. Or alternatively, we have official people, crew members in the room that will do Facebook Lives for this event. Please don't do Facebook Lives, but you can take photos and put descriptions up on the internet, being mindful of certain content is sensitive. So it is up to you to control your content and make sure that content that you're not wanting to share doesn't get out there. The other thing about workshops is that sometimes people reveal things that are, I suppose, confidential to their business. They might reveal things like sales tactics, that perhaps they've come up with a different concept for a course that they don't want their competitors to know about. And if they're sharing this at your event and one of your attendees videos this and puts it on social media, your attendee is going to lose trust in you. So again, and the way that that's dealt with is either you have the official person who does the social media, who does the recording, or you let people know in advance that because of social media sharing, you can't guarantee that anything that's said in this room will stay private. And in that situation, if they need to discuss a commercially sensitive element of their business with you, perhaps they can do it at a break or when the group isn't together, so that they can avoid that being recorded and put on social media. So social media is great. It's great for getting the information out there, but sometimes it can also put information out there that people don't want out there. And as the operator of the course, that's part of your obligation to all attendees to make sure that you set out the ground rules at the start. So good luck with your courses. My name is Catherine Warburton and I am the Legal Lioness.